Yes, we've had
All
that.
right, let's do a food show.
Let's do a food show.
Okay.
And talk about the truck.
Okay.
And
Which
then
truck?
The one in, and then old Blue Eyes, that's like a big shot. Oh, that's Leo's. Oh, don't worry about it. I know about that.
All right. All right.
All right.
They say if you flip,
Right.
you'll flop.
That's true. Actually, that's true.
We're going to start.
Hard luck show.
Yeah.
Taco show.
Taco.
It started off with taco.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And then we'll move from there.
Okay.
Your product, basement hard luck. Basement hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Card shots, thieves,
Come on, Grandpa. Get on there.
Pink Taco Show.
Pink Taco Show. Welcome to the Hard Luck Show. Welcome to the Pink Taco Show.
Oh, Big Dick Mike. Oh, he fucked it all up.
All right. Welcome to the Hard Luck Show. Good morning.
Dick Show.
And I'm your guest, your host, Steve Luciano.
Yeah.
Sitting across from me is my partner.
Yeah. It's Chumahan. Yeah.
And old Blue Eyes over there. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then where'd Sam and Sushi go? There we go. Come on.
It's on the ground.
Come on, King Sam. What are you doing down there?
Yeah, what are you doing down there?
Reach around. Hey.
Why, look at that. Do you see it? Why do you get like that? The guy complains when he's sitting, he complains when he's standing.
All I know is that his head came up from over there by you guys.
Oh, yeah. He's all like that. Oh, yeah.
The hell?
Yeah, he's getting a trachea over here. Yeah. All right.
And we got Big Pick Mike.
Oh, yeah.
How do?
Grandpa Mike.
You know what?
You tell him, you go, Mike, we're going to do a taco show. And he's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Says his glasses are all fogged up.
Let me tell you, man, I'm fucking, listeners, if you're listening.
Hey,
you
Mr.
know,
and Mrs. Earbuds.
We're at our other studio. We were at a studio in East LA for a little while.
Yeah, we went over there for a minute.
We had to pack our stuff up and go. I had to pack up our stuff.
You had to, everyone over there watched you pack up all the stuff.
Yep. So we're at a new, and we're back at our other studio.
True Blue.
True Blue. We're back on the west side.
On the west side.
And you know what I was going to say was, while we were over there, now I know that there's bomb tacos in East LA. The other thing I know is that in a lot of these bomb taco spots on the east side, what they do is they're making their own tortillas.
Oh, yeah.
And that changes up everything, bro. I mean, on the west side, the taco trucks, they're not really doing that. You're getting your, and I'm not saying they're bad. There's some bomb ones over there. But on the east side, you got the little ladies making the fucking corn and flour tortilla, like fresh.
Right.
And that's going to change the taste. So he took me to Tacos El Cabron. Let me tell you, is it on Eastern or where the hell is that?
It's off Atlantic and Verona.
Atlantic and Verona. Let me tell you guys something, though. You want to go get real fucking legit tacos? Tacos El Cabron. I mean, this place, and I couldn't stop going there after the podcast.
Really?
I'd be like, because I'm not vegan anymore, not vegetarian anymore.
Right.
I'm eating meat again.
Yeah. You need that meat to get
Even
in there
OG
on that
Suicide rode with us.
shoulder. Yeah.
Right?
Even OJ Suicide came with us. We brought a
Hey,
couple
wait a
people
minute.
with us.
Wait. What does OG Suicide order when he hits up that tacos?
They got
out?
tacos, right?
I feel like OG Suicide could put the hurt on some tacos.
He did. He got down.
They were the only brothers up over there, too.
They weren't even tripping. No. Huh.
They got down.
Yeah, they got it in. I love their tacos over there.
What do they do? What's their, besides making the tortillas, is it thick or thin? Like, is it chewy? What's the texture of these homemade tortillas?
They're not too thick. Not chewy. Actually, they're really
Spongy.
fucking good. Also, the secret is mesquite wood that they use.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, the mesquite wood. Smoke it too.
They do the ribs there.
The ribs.
no
everything.
Oh, they do the rib plate, bro, where they just start, they hack all the ribs and they put them on a big plate and you get fucking tortillas with it. And that's it. And you just like do your own thing. They're bomb. I'm telling you, this place is bomb.
And they got what? Agua. They got agua de pina.
Yeah, they got
Mexican
everything.
Coca-Cola. They're OG, man. They're great.
They're legit.
They're great. They're
Yeah,
legit.
you're talking about a place that's like #1. This place is rated like 5 stars by everybody. But I was down at, what do you call the place? At La Brea and
Leo's.
Leo's, La Brea and Venice. Okay. So when I'm on the way here, I've stopped by there a couple times on the way. When I leave at nighttime, it's already too crowded to stop. But that's a good burrito. I went there today. You guys, Pico, Venice, and La Brea. Went there today, and I shot a picture over to the group text. I'm like, you guys, these tacos are legit. Sean hits back right away, old blue eyes. Bro, that place is always number one, the best tacos
You
in
can't out-food Sean. All right, Sean's the gourmand. Gourmand Sean.
Gourmand Sean. Best tacos in LA.
I mean, I feel like the Tacos Cabron would beat it.
It will. Tacos Cabron?
Yeah.
Ain't no comparison. Now, but that's comparing the east side to the west side.
Right.
So let's just stay on the west side, and then that spot, the place on Rose, right in front of fucking Whole Foods in Venice, Rose and Lincoln, bomb. Sentinella in Venice, bomb. The bomb-ass trucks. But those are in a different league than East LA street tacos.
Right.
You know? Yeah. That's why, man, you never came with us, but we should have gotten Sean over there with us.
He wouldn't have got him to leave, bro. He would have put on an apron and started working for tacos.
Why is it that fucking why is it that food is just so fucking good, bro? Just some tortillas with some meat, some salsa, and some chopped cilantro and onion, and like, wow, it's guacamole. Like, it's so good, bro. It's really like I eat that food more than most other foods, and I don't know. It's not just a California thing.
It's just a simple food. It's not too many, spices. You're looking onion, some lime, whatever you want to put in, but it's really simplistic.
I think it's cultural, man. I think it's where you grow up.
Yeah, I mean, it is to a point. Because in New York and in Michigan, they ain't eating tacos
Dude,
like that.
they don't like them. They don't get down on Mexican food.
Wait. Come on. Listen. I'm not saying they don't, and I'm not saying it's not cultural, but that just means exposure. Like the taco itself, it's like Italian food. Right? Like,
how's that?
Italian
Tacos like Italian food. Explain me that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Italian food is fucking good no matter where you're from. Doesn't matter you grew up your entire life in India, near some mandrake.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Listen.
Are you telling me that someone who grew up in India is like, oh, I love Italian food?
No. I'm saying
They'd be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
Oh, yeah,
they wouldn't.
Oh, yes, they would,
No, they
friend.
wouldn't. No, you're wrong.
Oh, no, I'm not.
1,000%
wrong.
Yeah, you are
In
wrong.
India, you
I'm
might be
not.
wrong.
No. Let me tell you something.
Ding.
Let me tell you something. Because then I'm going to tell you. Because Italian food has universal, and I'm not saying Indian food doesn't. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the human tongue has got universal features, all right? I don't give a fuck what you say. McDonald's conquered the world because the scientists know how to make love to the human tongue no matter where you're from. And so I'm saying, Italian food, fresh tomatoes. Look, you think in India they don't understand fresh tomatoes, my fucking friend?
yeah, they do.
Okay, so don't give me this bullshit. And you don't think they understand mozzarella? They got buffalo cheese over there, the fucking lossies and all that bullshit. Yes, they can. Absolutely.
What I'm saying is that Indian food's got so much spices and shit.
God, I
that
love
when they
Indian
taste, it's
I
crazy.
love Indian
it's
food,
crazy.
bro.
But it can be a little overwhelming. Like the spices and all that shit. So what I'm saying is that someone who grows up in India and is used to all that shit, like to them, it's like no big deal.
Have you guys seen
But you have
those
the
Indian tacos on fucking Instagram yet?
What? Indian tacos?
Like,
Bro.
it makes sense.
They make the fucking taco is made out of fucking the
Like the
shell,
naan.
the naan.
non-taco?
Yeah, non-taco.
No, the naan taco. And so then they put
What took them so long?
the chicken
Chicken
tiki
tikka.
masala.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they fucking hit it with salsa and fresh cilantro and onion.
Listen.
And you eat that shit, it's a taco, bro. I was like,
What took them so long?
best of both worlds.
It makes sense to me. Listen.
Oh yeah.
Half of the spice.
Coriander is
cilantro.
Oh, word.
And ginger and garlic and cumin. They use a lot of cumin in it. Now look.
Well, there's a lot. Everything you just said, Mexican use.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think we even talked about this on one of the shows where we were like, there should be more of a crossover between the Mexican food and the food from India. And all I'm saying, Sean, is that so I understand what you're saying. You're saying, look, the basic standard 0 level spice profile of the Indian cuisine, all right, Panch Phoron, I'm not, it's different in different regions, right? Will have set a baseline that might make them think that the Italian food isn't as
seasoned.
Now listen, I get that. But the strength of the Italian cuisine isn't from the seasoning. Reason why you season lentils, motherfuckers, because lentils don't taste like shit. Italians let the fresh basil, the fresh olive oil, the fresh Parmesan, right?
Speak for itself.
They let that
Garlic, all that. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, they let that speak, and it's bright. It's a very bright.
Oh, does it sing?
Like old blue.
Well, I think some of the best pasta and the best dishes I've ever had
Yeah,
in Italian restaurants only had 3 or 4 seasonings.
That's- I
It was
mean,
the
right,
way they were
absolutely.
prepared.
right.
Absolutely.
No, and you're right. Now look, and I'll do you one better. This whole fucking, what do they call it? The fucking pickle that they make in India, right? The Indian pickle. Now that shit's got some
The purple one?
Nah, it's called pickle, but what it is, it's like a relish or like a spicy mustard relish thing or something, and they put like clove in it, and it's a little, you know what I mean? When you taste it, it's a little bit over the top. You only need a little dabble, do you? So yeah, that. But you know what? India also, which you don't understand, which a lot of people don't understand. When we think about Indian food, we're thinking about certain parts. There's a whole bunch of Indian food that doesn't get any flavor.
Just like Chinese.
Exactly.
Right.
Bro, Chinese, and I try to explain this. Now, I don't know if everybody in here gets this or knows about this, but I've tried to explain this to other people. When I lived in New York, and when I go to New York, there's certain types of Chinese restaurants that are serving dishes that you never even see in California.
Right.
And I don't know, like, there's the Szechuan, there's the Mandarin, there's
Right.
but in New York, bro,
Cantonese.
Right.
in New York, there's a lot of Cantonese. You don't have it out here.
Right.
You have these big, giant, flat noodles that are like, there's all these dishes. And I went in with somebody in New York, and they took me for the first time I moved there, and they're like, we're going to go to Chinatown. We're going to have Chinese food. I'm like, okay. And I'm figuring, we're going to order.
Dim
He
sum.
goes, I'm going to order everything.
Yeah.
This dude ordered fucking these. He ordered 4 or 5 dishes. None of these dishes, you guys, I'd ever seen in my life.
Right.
Except for the fried rice. Everything else was like, and it was delicious. So yeah, I would imagine. I mean, shit. When you go through South America and Central America, you're not getting the same thing in.
You're not,
right?
You're not.
Honduras, you're getting some other thing that you're getting in El Salvador, then you're getting in Mexico.
Well, look it. Now, there's a reason why. Okay, and now going back to my defense of the taco. All right, my defense. I'm telling you right now, there is a reason why the simple aspect of this food is in some ways like the Italian, right? They're letting the cilantro, and when you're doing the taco, that white onion. I mean, you could do a green onion. You could, if you wanted to go that way. It's right, but that white onion adds a right now exactly, and a spark.
Right.
Okay, and then of course the salsa, and that's a whole other thing. But the point of the matter is that Mexican cuisine is so much more than that. Mexican cuisine is so diverse and deep throughout the entire country that Mexico probably supplies most of the chefs for almost all the fucking restaurants.
That's true.
Because they know how to fucking cook.
Fucking A.
It's in their fucking culture, bro. So, you go to almost any restaurant here in Los Angeles, and you got one person whose name's on the thing in the front, and then everyone behind them is Chicano.
Right.
For the most part. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying that when you get down to like, why is it so good, right? There's a balance in the taco.
Well,
there's a customization to it too. The American cuisine is also about being able to carry shit.
Right.
Like we want to carry a hamburger, we want to carry a slice,
hot dog.
We want to carry a hot dog because we're on the go. Right. We ain't sitting around waiting for the Queen of England to sit her fat ass down.
But there's also a thing you were bringing about India.
Yeah.
And Mexico too,
Yeah.
which I've been learning with marsala and the sauces, and the same thing with mole. There's so many vast varieties of mole and they're regional that a lot of people don't get to taste. And I know there's certain mole from Jalisco Oaxaca, and there are variations. Just for those two places, they have different taste signatures. And that's what I've been learning recently. And even to guacamole, like, I don't know why everybody's putting red onions in guacamole. It's just a disservice to it.
Yeah, man.
So I swear to God, dude, I'm like, why are you going to put red onions in guacamole, fool? And what you do,
retarded.
and you put, when you put white onions and you blanch them in lemon or lime, there's a different dexterity that happens. The crunchability is still there, but it smooths out that taste. And then when whatever chili you want to put it, like jalapeno, serrano chili, or habanero chili if you want.
Habanero's got special flavor.
Yeah, man. So it's just, you do that, but the thing, people want to readily eat it. You have to let it breathe a little bit and let it just marinate
Like
and let
the
it grow.
wine.
Yeah,
Like a
man.
woman.
Yeah, man. And
Relax. This is a woman.
and that's the whole thing. It's like you some people just overkill with that red onion, and I'm like not a fan of it. I hate it. It's like anytime I see these people who on video and make their guacamole, they do a disservice to that avocado when they put that fucking serious, man. Yeah, like I see
about-
from cuisine,
hey,
it's crazy.
Think about an avocado and think about being like a European and never have eaten an avocado before. And then you're here in the new world and the guy comes up and is like, hey, you might want to try this. I mean, really think about that.
It depends. I mean, because like some people have a texture thing.
Yeah, but the avocado is such a...
It's so good, though,
It's such
bro.
a unique...
It's amazing.
You
Like-
could get fat off just eating avocados.
You would be a healthy fat.
You'd be,
Oh,
yeah,
you're
you'd be happy fat.
Like
Your
Mike?
skin.
Thickness.
Like Mike?
Yeah, man.
Your skin will be
Not
real
that
good.
Mike, another Mike.
Dude, at my house,
I got
dude,
chunkers.
those ladies, they eat avocado with every meal.
Oh,
they either
man.
make a guacamole, right? They'll do that. Or they'll just cut it fresh and just put slices of it on everything that they eat
good.
all day, every day. And we got avocado tree in the back. Yeah.
Well, look at the inception of avocado toast. Like,
Dude,
but my whole point is like, it's come to that point. Like, I know people put avocado on their bagels.
Listen, bro.
That's crazy.
The one thing I'm learning, and maybe this is true in the Latin households you read, but like no matter what Americans invent, no matter what it is, no matter what it is,
No doubt.
the Latins are like, oh yeah,
We've been doing
Yeah,
it.
we've been
Totally.
avocado toast. Hey, shit, that's for poor people. We was doing that a long time. Okay.
Shit, all you gotta do is put that on the tortilla and you're fine, dude.
Right.
I saw
A little
something.
salt and that's good.
I saw some bunk. I don't know if it was bunk or not, but I saw some video and they were trying to say that Africa was the one where the jalapeno,
Oh,
and
come
the
on.
cumin, and
Come
all
on.
these things came from there.
There's no pepper from Africa. There's no chili from Africa. That's bullshit. Every single.
Sounded
Don't
like
get me
bullshit.
started. You're starting to get me going on. I go
Sounded
crazy
like
on this.
bullshit.
It is
Yeah.
bullshit.
No, I
Speak
heard
on
it.
it. No, listen, dude. I'll tell any arrogant dude straight to his face. I'll be like, every pepper you think came from this country came from America. All right? Don't try to fucking test me on that. When I was in Bhutan, these fucking Bhutanese, they had a sword and everything and a robe, walking up in the Himalayas and all this bullshit, right? And they go, I want to try this emidatsi. I go, give me the fucking emidatsi. They go, spicy cheese, chili cheese rice. That's what emidatsi is, chili cheese rice, right? They go, it's good. Yeah, and it's good. It is good. I ain't gonna lie. Rice with just about anything's good. They go, hey, we got
I agree.
Can you handle the chili? I go, motherfucker, chilies are from America. I laugh at your pepper. Your puny little shriveled up pepper. I laugh at that. That comes from here. We handle that every day, all day, any day. So that is the truth. I don't know not cumin and all that other stuff. That part I don't know. Listen, chocolate. World didn't have chocolate. Right? Peppers. Tomatoes. Listen, with all due respect, what was Italian cuisine without tomatoes? What was it before then? Nothing but focaccia.
Nothing but fugazi.
Forget about
Where did vanilla come from?
Madagascar?
Yeah, maybe. I think so.
What? You know what's interesting is that I was in Tokyo and it was the last night of the trip. It was a distribution trip. Me and Esteban were out there. And Shaw, our distributor out there, goes, I want to take you guys very, very good restaurant. Very nice restaurant. Okay, yeah, we're going. He picks us up. He goes, I take you to #1 Italian restaurant, Japan. We're like, is that right? How is there an Italian restaurant in Japan? He starts telling me that the chef left Japan when he was like 19, went to some crazy culinary school in Italy.
That makes sense.
Stayed in Italy for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Working under a couple guys in Calabrese and fucking Naples.
Yeah.
Went over and spent some time in Sicily and really learned like the craft.
Right.
Comes back to Japan and somebody gave him the money to finance and open up this restaurant. Bro.
Really?
Not only are they doing Italian food, they're doing pizza in a brick oven.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bro, I look at the menu and they've got all the right stuff on the menu and we all start ordering. Let me tell you something, man. I had penne arrabbiata there. Fucking penne arrabbiata was probably one of the best ones after my own. One of the best ones I'd ever eaten, man.
I love penne arrabbiata.
It was on the money. And everything, the pizza, I mean, everything was great. So it's like, Italian, they've had a big influence. You can't really go anywhere without an Italian restaurant somewhere, right?
That's a 1,000%. And listen, when I went to Italy, right? And we with the salmon here, we went over there, and the food was fucking even better there. There was no bullshit. Let me tell you something. I went to this fucking, I don't know, it looks like the town's called Bologna, because it's Bologna. Yeah. Saying pizza that they were selling on a street. I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But it's fucking phenomenal. Chewy, crusty, just the
It's
right.
got to be the flour, the water, the everything out there, you know?
Everything.
I don't know, but the I looked up vanilla just now while you were telling the story about it's from America. Vanilla is from America. It grew in the Gulf of Mexico from Tampico, right, where your people are from. Old big Mike, Tampico. I'm just making up. All the way to the Colima. No, that's where your uncle was from, Colima, to Ecuador. That's where it's from. Vanilla is from America. Potatoes. There was
potatoes and corn.
Well,
Cacao too. Chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah.
Yeah, we said that. Thank you, sir. Big Mike here all week. But yeah, potatoes, corn. But vanilla is pretty crazy, right?
Okay, so then tell me some of the things that are fucking not from. Tell me some of the things that aren't from here besides rice.
Well, white people. This whole thing. All right.
True.
No. What?
I'm talking about things you can eat.
Oh, well, why? I'm sorry. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ. Can't a man tell a joke in this world anymore? What's not from here? That's a good question. I don't think wheat's from here, homie. No. I don't think all these wheat forms, that wheat is imported. Apples are not from here.
Barley is not. Rice is not.
Wheat's not from here, right?
Right. And what they call Indian rice is actually grass seed. That's not really rice. Okay. That's good, but it's not really Chippewa right here.
Really?
Yeah. That's not really rice, though. But
it's long grain rice?
What? Regular rice is not from here. Whatever. Long, short, whatever. The wild rice is actually a grass in the lakes. And these Indians, these Chippewas will go out with these sticks and they'll just fucking beat it into the thing. And it's slightly different than actual rice. But, you know. But yeah. Cattle, cows, beef, that's not from here.
Where were they from?
They're from fucking Europe. And originally, the Eurasian steppes, meaning like where the Mongols are from. The original cowboys were fucking Mongols, bro. That was the original cowboys. They
were the first guys riding horses?
First guys riding horses and carrying the cattle with them, herding them. These motherfuckers.
Really?
Yeah, bro. And
they were the first ones to figure out we're going to get all these motherfuckers and we're going to keep them.
Yeah.
They're going to run with us. We're going to exercise and feed them.
That's why they moved. They had these giant grasslands up in the steppes, right? Like in them, like where Mongolia is now, like that Russia, Asia area, right? And they lived, these fucking dudes, they were the real cowboys because they would herd the cattle, they'd exhaust an area and move on. These motherfuckers were the ones that would raid the agrarian motherfuckers, people who decided, hey, we're going to sit down here and just fucking plant crops. We don't need to just heartache and headache. These guys would fucking come down, and it wasn't a biker club, it was a fucking horse club. And they'd come down, hit real quick, either get ransom, all right, we'll fuck your entire town up, or pay us off. All right, we'll pay. Get the fuck out. Okay, or steal some shit, maybe a couple women, some horses, and then leave. That was the original cowboys, and they brought with them the beef. They were originally, I think, like something called an auroch, the prehistoric cattle. And if you've ever seen like the Scottish cattle with the weird horns and the long hair, it's a little bit like that. But eventually, all those things come down to become beef cattle. And they drove them all the way into Egypt. All the way into Egypt. And this meat and this cattle and the bull became a symbol of power and virility and food. And this is why the pharaohs were called bulls. This is why in Rome, they had a cattle cult. If you watch that show Rome and they do a sacrifice, they would kill a bull and look at its entrails.
Oh, like in Crete too, didn't they have that
Yes,
like underneath?
That's what the Minotaur is.
Yeah.
How about that? In Apocalypse Now, they fucking chop the bull's head off, remember?
Yeah, and that's a water buffalo though.
Water buffalo, okay.
Okay, but all right, so it's like that. This is why in India, these motherfuckers got so far all around with their raiding and pushing shit around. This is why in India you have the sacred bulls, the Brahma bulls, and only the Brahmin caste, the priests could eat those. It's not until, and this becomes a symbol also of wealth, all right? And this gets down all the way to England. And one of the problems that all these types of folks had was there's not enough land for all of us to build up big herds and do our thing, right? So in the 17th century is when the colony started. Part of it had to do with these British lords and European lords and kings and stuff looking for pasture lands. That's why Argentina is famous for the beef. They had set out to create new lands for that. That's why Australia is famous for its beef. And that's
Brazil too?
Yep, exactly. And America. These bigger lands. And the whole reason why they cut down all this shit and they drive out people is because they want to fence it off and put beef cattle there. And that's what they did. And before the 1800s, there wasn't a taste for fatty beef. Like when you go, oh, prime grade A beef or whatever that is, all that's testing is how much fat is in the muscle. That's why they grain them at the end. You grain cattle, they're not supposed to eat corn. They don't know.
Right.
They're ruminants, right?
They eat grass.
They eat grass. So what happens is they want to fatten them up as fast as they can, and they want to marble that meat with as much fat. That's how you get a better rating. It wasn't like that before the 1700s at all. Then these British lords, and you go, and they would sell, right, semen from these bulls and stuff. You could make a lot of money, and they would bring portrait artists out to do like a painting of their fattest bull. And you could go online.
Oh, bro, you can see it. That was their way to show that they had money, and they were
exactly.
They would hire artists, painters to come and paint.
They would even tell them to like go a little extra, right? Add 20 pounds to this fucking heifer. Then, right, all of that is what leads to the sort of beef culture that we got now here in the United States. Refrigeration, right, and the railroads was all about innovating ways to get American beef back to Europe to sell it at an upcharge.
Oh, actually, I got to correct you on there.
Go ahead.
They created refrigeration on trains for alcohol.
Well, the book that I read, right, and it might be right, but Rifkin, History of Beef, he said that the innovations in the refrigerated trains for sure was to bring back beef so that it can be exported back to Europe was part of it. So I'm not saying it wasn't also alcohol, but I'm definitely saying that they had huge refrigerated cars full of beef, slaughtered beef. And the book also says that
beer, not alcohol, beer.
Right. And that would make sense. And it also says that the assembly line, Ford, he got the idea by reversing a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, that's smart.
Take a before there was, they would bring them in on a chain, and everybody had a station, and they would fucking break this motherfucker down. Right. So all of that, right? That's
pretty interesting.
It's wild, man. All of that goes all the way back. And there's so many great stories about these early guys, like the Tartars, like steak tartare. The Tartar was the Russian word for Mongols, right? like the Huns and all these motherfuckers were coming. And they would call it steak tartare because the legend is that these fucking Mongols were so fucking savage. They would take they would eat the best parts of the cat, but the stringiest parts and all the hard parts, they'd put under their saddles and ride on it all day. And by the time they got to their next camp, it had been smashed down to nothing, mixed with horse sweat, which these motherfuckers liked. And they would eat it raw like that. And that's how eventually you get steak tartare. That's what that is. And these motherfuckers were so cold-blooded, they would raise their kids on mare's milk. They would feed them the titty milk from a horse. And they would fucking be sad. And that's why when they would show up, everybody in the village wasn't going to fuck around. Only China had the fucking moxie to hold them off. And that's because they built that big-ass motherfucking wall. And even then, they eventually got through that wall. Fucked them up. But that's the culture. That's all these cowboys. The caballeros, all of those gauchos, all of that. All of it. It's history of, if you go back and trace it all the way back to the Mongols. That's what that is.
I was telling somebody recently that there's different types of cattle with different types of flavor.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever I'm at like Peter Luger's in New York, or I'm at a steakhouse in New York, the steak tastes different, bro. It tastes different than out here. It's a different type of steak. And if you were to look at the cattle's different too. But the steak is different. It's got a more chalkier, meatier. There's something to the taste of meat in New York. There's great steaks out here, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But there's something to a steak in New York. It has a different flavor to it. You can taste that it's a different type of a cow.
Well, so there's the type of a cow, what it's eating, when they, how old it is when they buck.
Absolutely.
And then do they even dry age it?
There, yeah, all that is.
Do they even dry age it?
The steaks that I had were not dry aged, and I had a bone-in ribeye out there. Yeah, I've compared. I've had like bone in over here, bone in there. I've had a porterhouse here and a porterhouse there. Definitely tasted different. But you're right. There's what it's being fed. And listen, when you eat a grass-fed fucking piece of steak, you can taste that motherfucker. Tastes like earth.
Yeah, it's different.
It's like, right? It's
totally
completely different. You go down to Mexico, eat some fucking tacos or some meat down or carne asada down in Ensenada.
Yeah,
it's gonna taste different. They might have killed that thing like a day ago. Who knows?
Yeah, and you go.
They eat their meat like that in Mexico.
They don't refrigerate it half the time.
They kill it and they eat it. There's no holding, drying, hanging. They'll fucking hack up a fucking cow.
People used to eat more rotten meat all over the world than they do now. What's that great scene from Shogun where that dude, the pilot, the white dude, he's in Japan and then he hangs the duck or the goose to let it rot for a while and the Japanese think he's fucking nuts. People used to
curing. They were curing before they. I mean, look at even the old cowboys. Even what you're talking about, they figured out early on if I cut it up and sun dry it, that it'll stay good and I can take it with me.
Yeah.
Old fucking beef jerky. That's old cowboy shit.
Oh, beef jerky. So that's how the Indians used to dress up the buffalo. They used to have huge drying racks. They look at all these. See, a lot of people don't realize this, but they were hunting buffalo before they had horses, right? So you're like, well, how do you hunt a buffalo? They would take the whole herd and they would either start a fire around them, right?
Fucking smart, these Indians.
And
Dude,
so smart.
Drive them off a fucking cliff. And then they had all these drying racks. And they'd sit there and just make a ton of jerky. And they had what they call par fleshes, which is these flesh bags. And they'd stick all this dried meat in it. And it was fucking... That's it. That was all there was to it. There was no extra anything. They weren't trying to overwork.
They say that I'm listening to this course from Yale, and they're saying that the first farmers were farmers because what they would do is they wanted like cat. I don't know if it was cattle. It's like, just regular livestock like elk or whatever, reindeer or whatever. So they would burn the fields, and then they would plant grass in this one spot, and then they would just wait. They will wait for the fucking whatever to come down and eat the grass because there's no grass available except for that patch.
Yeah.
So that's when they would kill him.
Fucking smart. Dude.
Well, think about it. You're outside all the time, right? And I think it's so hard for us to understand this. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you're outside a lot, you start to see the patterns. Where are they going? What are they getting?
Sure.
So yeah, that's like chum in the water. That's grass chum. That's what that is, grass chum. And the Indians, they find here in the Americas huge areas of burned out places, controlled fires where they would that's what the prairies are. They burned that all out, brought in the grasses, and that's why the bison got huge. There's so many of them. And dude, they didn't try to go after wolves, the Indians, because the Indians, what they did was they didn't set up permanent sites all the time. They would move all the time because they would stink out a place or something because so many people are living there and they would move on, right? That's why everything was mobile. They weren't trying to. And when they would leave, the wolves would come in behind them and eat up all their garbage. That's how, I guarantee you that's how the dog eventually got domesticated. These dogs would just live on the outside of fucking whatever settlements were set up, eating the scraps. Until eventually a relationship developed.
And like you were saying, they use them as protection and hunting and it's fucking but you know what's interesting though is when you say that, something got brought up to me the other day, and it was something that I was listening to, and what they were talking about was like, I don't know how I'm gonna explain this right, but we've done if you were to just look at the 100 years that we've been around and you look at what we've done in 100 years. Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like we've come a long way in 100 years, right?
Yeah.
When you go back into time, let's go back, 10,000 years, 5,000 years. When you start who's to say that those people, how long were some of those civilizations around? And how much time did they have to figure out the same things we're figuring out?
A ton, bro.
And who's to say that they didn't, at one time, even bypass all the stuff we're doing? And then it was just all destroyed. You can't really say that didn't happen. And when they started unveiling some of these cities that were dug up, when you start really looking at pyramids, and what they're not just a fucking when you start looking, you're like, man, there's a possibility that these dudes might have gone far past where we're at now. They might have had thousands of years to work on this. Look what we've done in 100 years, you guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, that's true.
It's crazy.
People weren't dumber. They're not dumb. They weren't. Dude, they were able to figure out astrology before there was any machinery.
Bro,
we don't know that they had fucking sky rises 1,000 years ago, and they just all maybe they just overdeveloped and some shit happened and fucking it's gone.
I think you're 100%, bro.
Get what I'm saying, right?
I do.
And they might have had a lot longer of a time. Like when we think about how they figured out, how the Aztecs or the Indians figured out the astrology.
Look, that's what we know.
How much time? Right. How much time though did they have to figure that out?
Tons. See, you're 1,000% correct. We're living now, it was all leading up to this.
Right, and we don't work as hard because so much is being provided. We're probably dumber. At this stage, look at the idiots on TikTok.
Yeah.
You think those people would be able to make it out in a fucking bush?
Oh, they would have got their asses kicked.
So it's almost like, okay. You get what I'm saying?
No, I do get it. This is what I think, right? So for the actual what we know, what's left behind that we found, all right? You're talking on maybe 7,000 years.
Okay.
Maybe 10.
Okay.
But human beings as we are right now, you're talking 500,000 years ago. Right? They found an ice dude with tattoos in the Alps that was from, I don't know what it was, 50,000 years ago. And they said he was no different than us. He could have worked a computer. If he was taught the computer, he would have worked it. No problem.
Who's to say that they haven't? Who's to say that they didn't have computers? Who's to say they didn't have planes or better shit?
I don't know, but I can tell you this. They definitely had a better understanding of the seasons, the astronomy, how everything moved together. Like we're all split up in these little structures, and like we're working off a clock. So we've been taken off the normal
Absolutely.
rhythms, right? Mm-hmm. And you can get real disoriented. When I was reading this crazy horse book, they talk a lot. Like they have a time. They talk, but the way they talk about time is like, oh, in the month when the cherries turn black.
Right.
And everybody knows when that is. It's the same time as fucking October or whatever, right? But it's not a calendar and it's not a thing. It's what they see. Oh, and they even knew that if you go up to Canada, right, they knew that the winter moon's longer. Like they knew that the seasons were different. And they would know, and everybody knew that.
Right.
Right? So there wasn't any of that. And there wasn't, so like we're in this situation now that we're in where it's like, we're supposed to be productive like every hour. And the term productive means something like make money, be part of a job, fix my health, get my car out. You know, all this shit we're supposed to do within these hours. Mm-hmm. Perfect parent, I'm gonna fucking do this, da-da-da-da-da. But it leaves very little time for just being.
And that's not by accident, bro.
No, it's not.
Right.
And this all started like in the industrial, right? You're talking like a lot of, there should be as a human being, probably the best thing you could do for our people in terms of contribution would be to have some unoccupied time. A lot of unoccupied time.
But you get on that and you say that whole thing when we talk about AI and robots taking over. You've talked about how like maybe that all will happen.
Yeah.
Just so that we can stop having to deal with it and get back to like life. Just living.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be amazing if that was the case.
It's hard for us to imagine, right? It's hard for us to imagine because it seems like since about 1500, it's just been a whip and a fucking slave driver for everybody except for those at the very, very, very top.
Well, let me ask you this, you guys.
But that's really a short time.
Right. Somebody sent me a video, Dan. They're like, hey, check out this dude's concept. I've never really heard anything like this, but it kind of makes sense. So the guy starts talking and he says, you feel like I know people are getting the feeling that this world's coming to an end. Society and where we're at and how we got here.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like draws it backwards and he's kind of like, as a human being, an individual, you don't begin to change until the shit shows up on your doorstep or shit starts happening to you. It's usually at the brink of everything falling apart that you change. Right. And so as he's saying this, I'm kind of taking it as I'm listening to it and I'm taking it individually.
Right.
And I may not even learn the first or second or third time.
Yeah.
But for me, personally, it isn't until some fucking shit almost hits the fan before I'm like, fuck. And as this guy's talking, he's like, society's really like that in a way. As a whole. If you were to not take us individually and put us together.
1,000%.
Okay? So he says, we are possibly heading towards the brink of destruction.
Yeah.
But as mankind itself, we won't destroy ourselves. When you get to the brink,
you do what has to be
done. Now, he says that and he says, and he even goes deeper and he goes, it's actually, you think that all these evil guys that are out for themselves or doing all this fucked up shit is fucking up the planet. But in reality, you have to have those people because they're going to present all the black. Without the negative, you don't have a positive. Without all the suppression, you don't have something coming back to. Like, Mother Nature is going to even itself. Like the way he said it, I'll send it out to you guys. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, life is a perception game.
Yeah.
It really is, dude, a perception game.
What do you mean by that? Explain it further.
I mean that by like, if you can change the way you look at something, it will change.
Yes.
And it'll change you.
Yes. I agree with that. 1,000%.
Or when you hear something, or you just look through
so
and you see something, you're like, oh shit. You know, like.
So that's why. That is why. That is 1,000% why these things that we think are so basic that they're not worth questioning. Like, you think about aspects of reality.
I want to play this thing for you. Go ahead.
If you think about certain things about reality, things that you think are not worth questioning, that is your perception.
Okay.
Right? Well, you're not even, it's almost invisible to you because you're like, yeah, that's such a given. There's no even need to think about that. That's the real perception. That's the real perception. And yeah, dude, that does control everything because that controls what you think is possible.
Yeah. Okay, listen, you guys. We're gonna show you. You gotta hear this, bro.
Because there was something growled. Did you hear that?
Plain sight. Now this will blow your mind. This will change your entire perception of why the world is currently the way that it is. I'm going to play a clip from the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still and then explain the deeper meaning.
Every civilization reaches a crisis point eventually. Most of them don't make it. Yours did. How? Our sun was dying. We had to evolve in order to survive. So it was only when your world was threatened with destruction that you became what you are now? Yes. Well, that's where we are. You say we're on the brink of destruction, and you're right. But it's only on the brink that people find the will to change. Only at the precipice do we evolve. This is our moment. Don't take it from us. We're close to an answer.
An answer.
Okay, so this is actually super deep. Really contemplate this concept
Listen.
that we don't evolve. The humanity collective consciousness does not evolve unless it is pushed to the brink of destruction. Does that sound like something that's happening in society and in the world right now? To me, it does. So what if we took the perspective that this reality has been meticulously designed and created in order to serve humanity as a whole to evolve? And this involves a catalyst, otherwise known as the dark side. Some call it negative entities, negative forces. But what they are doing, even sometimes unconsciously, is they're playing the role of the villain. Because the dark side always thinks that they're serving themselves, but it's actually really ironic because they're serving the greater whole by being the villain, which ironically creates a catalyst for the beings, such as you and I, to become the greatest versions of ourselves because we are no longer complacent. We must decide, literally, are we going to evolve or are we going to suffer? And you can take that to the extreme like the movie did by saying that the suffering is actually destruction, but the concept still stands. So start to see all of those in reality that you think are your enemies are actually serving you to become the greatest version of yourself. And also, this is why ETs don't help us, because they know that we have to evolve ourselves to get to a higher level of consciousness. Because when we get to that higher level, we have learned our lessons.
I'm not going to get all into the UFO thing.
Part of it, right? Like, what are they doing?
But what he brings what he brings is like, I got to be honest with you guys. I've thought it on personal levels.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. Like the shit that I went through, like got me here.
Yeah.
I had to go through that. It's made me who I am. I appreciate my kids because of all this. And then when I started listening to what he said and kind of putting it on like a
why
humanity
wouldn't
level,
like, society be at the same level as the individual? It's just made
same
up.
thing.
Yeah,
That's right.
Right.
It's just interesting, and I only bring it up, you guys, because I think like sometimes somebody can present something or we can see something, and all we've done is just move over like 2 inches, and we're just getting a whole different story, you know?
Right.
That's what I think about is so dangerous about motherfuckers like these idiot Trumps and shit who are never wrong, who are always right, who will never be like, you know what, I made a fucking mistake, or I need help, or I don't know. Somebody's got all that's the most dangerous people there are. People that have all the answers and you can't tell them nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
But back to food.
Food for thought.
Food for thought. Let's go around the room real quick.
Go ahead.
We'll get back on the food thing. Everybody.
We got 3 minutes on the room.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
We're gonna do this one.
Lightning round.
Lightning round. 3 minutes, and we're gonna wrap up the food show. King salmon.
Salmon.
Favorite favorite. You don't get 3. You don't get.
Yeah. You gotta pick one.
We'll give you 2. Give us your top 2 and give us 2 in order.
Yeah.
Your top 2 foods.
Food. Go.
Gotta be sushi. Top food.
Is number 1?
100%.
This is my daughter would say.
Top food. And then cheeseburger.
Sushi and cheeseburger.
That's
You
an
went
American.
Pan American.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. You like something you can hold.
Yeah.
Hold sushi.
Yeah.
Hold hamburger.
Yeah.
All right. Come on, dog.
Oh man, definitely tacos.
Mexican
sure.
food?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then pizza.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck, man, I could.
You
fuck
went
up
a step on
whole
Oreo. You went
pizza.
Mexican and Italian.
Yeah.
So pizza and tacos.
Yeah,
What a
for
fucking
sure.
dude right in there, brother. Come on, let's go, Chumahan.
All
Chumahan, I know we know Chumahan's vegan.
Yeah, I'm vegan, but they make vegan tacos and all that shit. But I'm gonna say this. Real good, and I mean greasy, salty tortilla chips.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
yeah, you love a bag. You love 3 bags of chips.
Yeah, and then pizza.
Damn, that's 2 pizza guys.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
no
a
wonder
pizza
you guys are
friend.
fucking.
Dude, I ate a whole.
Buddy.
On my birthday, I ate an entire large pizza pie to my face.
I could fuck up an entire
Easy.
pizza.
Easy.
Oh, that's right. It was your birthday. I was supposed to bring fucking medium.
That's all right.
Okay,
man.
all right. I'll
You
get
got the
you.
fucking flat screen. That's all I need, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh, I left that there.
Did you? No, yeah, you're
I
fucking.
got it.
right. I know.
Come on.
All right, man. Mexican food, homemade from scratch too. That
Scratch too.
goddamn right.
Homemade.
I'm fucking no fucking
Scratch
Dorito bullshit.
Real low quads.
Okay, you know, hey man, low
From my
quads, bro.
tree.
Yeah, I climbed the tree. It was like an ape. And then Thai food, man.
Oh,
Yeah, bro. Oh hell.
Oh hell no!
Yeah.
Man, hey, fuck all that. You guys can go to Natalie Thai together. Show yourself.
I know
That shit
that.
is weak.
Deep fried tofu. All right, go ahead. What you got?
Oh, well, that was. We
Yeah.
did a deep fried tofu at Olympic and Robertson.
Yeah.
Was that a Natalie Thai?
I don't think so. But no, you go. You, the king of the kings. Come on, don't say it.
It's got to be. I gotta say Mexican first, bro. Mexican's my go-to.
Yeah.
And then it's Italian, dude. Mexican and Italian.
Yeah.
That's all me.
Word.
I'm a Mexican. and
You
Italian.
know what wasn't in anything we talk about?
I love it, but you guys, I lie. I wasn't able to say. I love Indian food, man.
I
did
love
too.
Indian food too.
Come on,
And I
man.
love Thai
Fuck,
food.
dude,
Thai food
might
is
say
so
beef jerky's real close to my fucking tortilla. I can't get full on beef jerky.
My chile is real close to the huevos, huh? But I don't eat chile.
It's resting on 'em.
That's your jerky right here.
Yeah. But that was a great show. Good idea, Big Lux.
We
That
got
was
into
good.
all sorts of shit.
Yeah,
in
we
that.
went deep.
We went deep. Good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Listen, man. I still say Enzo's Pizzeria has a fucking incredible fucking eggplant parmesan sandwich. It's on Westwood.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shout out. Go check out supermaxhardware.com. Cookies and vibes. You know what we do over here. And big shout out to Esteban Oreo and the Soul Assassins. Always listen to the Hard Luck Show on Mondays and Thursdays.
Hardluckshow.com.
Ovondabone LLP. Also, who was the first person to think that they could eat an eggplant? It's pretty crazy.
That is kind of weird.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
What you got?
Mike Angelo Photography, IG.
Got my trout fishing pole.
Dragonbags.com. DRAGGINBAGZ. Because they always sleeping on me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you got
Back to the Z.
99 now.
Shot selector.
Drag that bag. Right across my eyes.
Get the
All right, hurry up. Hurry up
salt's burning my eyes.
before they shut off the power on us.
All right. We're out of here. Hasta la vista from the Hard Luck Show.